On this show, we talk about news outlets in smaller communities quite a bit. Why? Because they're important and because they're disappearing. Such is the case for a paper called the Eugene Weekly. Yes, it's based out of Eugene. They are in trouble, but they're fighting to make a comeback because the closure is not like others. Their financial problems are not from declining readership or a new owner, for example. Oh no, it's a bit darker than that. They've shut down because of betrayal from within. For those of you familiar with Eugene, you've likely seen those red boxes all over town. For decades, the paper was printed for free, with some 30,000 copies filling the boxes every Thursday. Founded as a community calendar back in 1982, Eugene Weekly grew into everything you would expect out of a local news shop. Investigations, covering the arts, nonprofits, LGBTQ issues, even writing up obituaries for homeless folks whose lives and deaths may otherwise go unnoticed. The paper is part of the community fabric there. Well, 3 days before Christmas, Eugene Weekly was forced to lay off its entire 10-person staff. The reason? Someone who worked at the paper had allegedly embezzled their money, draining the company dry.
A now former employee had been embezzling at least $90,000 that we just know of off the top. And then also sort of parts of it are probably mismanagement in terms of mismanagement of funds, where there's just thousands of dollars of bills gone unpaid. So our printer we owe $70,000 to right off the top.
They owe their payroll company another $20,000. Vendors were not paid for months. Employees had their retirement benefits diverted. It's a big mess. They estimate it's going to cost around $180,000 to get caught up on bills and hire everyone back. The person responsible for taking the money has not yet been identified. Camelia Mortensen, the paper's editor you just heard from there, says that person worked there for around 5 years. So yeah, they know who it is. We asked her about that blatant betrayal.
It was surreal. It was absolutely surreal, where I'm going, you saw me every day. I have office dogs. You play with my office dogs, and you're doing this, but you're also not putting the money that was supposed to be going into my retirement fund at the same time. Like there has to be more to it, because it just was so hard to wrap my mind around. Like someone we'd been planning a Christmas party with, and it was like, well, no Christmas party.
She told us that having to lay off her entire staff and herself as well just days before Christmas was gutting, as you can imagine. Eugene police are investigating, and a forensic accountant is poring over the financial records to see just how deep all this went. Mortensen calls herself the editor that won't stop showing up, and says the community support has been incredible, both in Eugene and the surrounding areas.
There's a small bookstore down in Cottage Grove, rural town that's south of us, that carries us. And the owner of the bookstore drove up, and she told me, so she both brought a contribution to us, as well as chocolates, which was incredibly sweet. And she told me that all day long people had been coming into the book mine and asking for the paper. And she said they were crying when she told them what had happened and that we may not be able to print again. And honestly, I've definitely cried a lot, but I've seen a lot of tears. And like for you to realize as a newspaper that the thought of this newspaper disappearing brings people to tears is just, it means a lot. And it also makes me all the more determined to come back and be that voice that they're looking for.
And that's where you can help out. Remember, they need around $180,000 to get everyone hired again and get the paper back up and running. Well, so far they've raised at least $58,000, and Mortensen says she's hopeful they can pull it off. She tells us the best way folks can help is to visit this website and donate. The website is support.eugeneweekly.com. She tells us Eugene Weekly will stay digital for the time being, with folks who previously worked for the Eugene Register-Guard newspaper volunteering to help out. Mortensen says if they can reach their financial goal, they want to try to print a new edition of the paper the first week of February. That website, one more time, support.eugeneweekly.com.